Welcome back to my Colorado mountain garden. Today we're going to talk a little bit about heat mats. The one that you see in the video here is a 10 by 20, and that will hold one of the larger trays that we saw in my other video yesterday. This size is pretty standard. If you're starting a ton of seeds, you can get bigger mats, but for most home gardeners, a mat this size, I actually have three, just because I start so many seeds. They really help speed up the germination process and keep your soil where it needs to be to really get those seeds started. Some seeds, I don't recommend that you start on a heat mat. As we go through and plant my garden out this year, I will tell you which ones I'm not putting on the heat mat. But we're going to be doing peppers, and then we're going to be doing some tomatoes, and I do recommend that both of those sit on the heat mat. This heat mat runs about $13 from Amazon. I'll put a link down below. It is made by Vivosun. I have two Vivosuns and another brand name. All of them are the same size, the 10 by 20s. I don't recommend that you buy the ones with the thermostat controls because they're really not needed, so you're paying for something you really don't need. Some of you may have these new fangled temperature gauge. Mine's about 2 years old, but it also does a surface temp. So we're going to take the surface temp over here. And you will see that's running 89.7. Now we're going to take the surface temp inside the tray that's been sitting on top of here. I've had it sitting out for about a couple hours just to make sure we have a good temp. That's 81.7. Also keep in mind, oops, kick the camera, that your seed cells are going to sit above that level too. So you're going to get a pretty well regulated temperature without spending the extra money for the thermometer. Again, it's not needed. I'd rather see you buy two seed mats like this versus one with a heater for the same price. This year I am going to be starting, I have a lot of seeds that are a little bit older. So I'm going to start a lot of my seeds in baggies, in paper towel. And we're going to go through that part of that when we start the peppers. When I do put the baggies on this heat mat, I will cover it on my grow shelves with just a towel. And part of that is because a baggie's really thin, and I'd rather have those seeds just a little bit up off of that surface so they're not as hot. Now, granted, I'm going to have paper towel inside the baggies, but for me, putting a little towel down, it could be a rag. You know, I usually just use one of my older kitchen towels over the mat. There's not a problem. You're not going to start a fire by doing that. These mats just don't get that hot. I don't put I won't put anything that I'm growing in my my cell containers and stuff like that. If I have those, I don't put any extra padding or anything like that underneath it. I would say that for me as a seed starter, this has been a game changer for me. I have such better germination since I started using the heat mats. But if you don't have a heat mat, and you just have some shelves, if you can set your shelves, and I recommend open shelves, so those metal ones that are like a rack, the shelves like a rack, setting that above like a furnace vent, and then have your trays down on that lower level. So when the furnace goes off, they're getting heated up. Yes, they'll cool down a bit when the furnace isn't on, but it is a way to get your seeds germinated if you have a lot of them. If you're starting in paper towel to get that first germination really going, you can also put your baggies on top of your refrigerator. I did that for a lot of years. I don't have a lot of space above there because I do have a cabinet above my refrigerator, but that will also work and give enough temp increased to get your seeds going. But you will notice if you have a constant temp, your seeds are going to germinate a lot faster. I hope this helps you out. If you like my page and like my videos, please subscribe, click the like button, and we'll see you again real soon. We're going to just talk about seeds in general, I think, in the next video. Happy gardening.